Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and there's still so much to discover in the 2.0 update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. In fact, there are tons more hidden features and details that you might have missed. Once again, I've decided to scour the internet and the game itself to see what hidden details that we can discover. These range from really cool new mechanics to fun details that you'll want to know about, and so much more. Now, I know that you're thinking you've probably seen everything so far, but trust me, there is a lot to unpack still, so let's see what we can discover. Pergolas are absolutely some of the best items in the 2.0 version. I'm so happy that Nintendo decided to add them to the game, and although they look really pretty, they actually have a functional purpose as well. Now, since this item has a very interesting hitbox of you being able to stand in the middle of it, it actually does come with a neat little trick. If you end up getting chased by wasps and you enter the pergola, they will not be able to enter and attack you, which means that you will be protected from them and you can catch them freely without having to worry about being stung or do it in super fast time. I know a lot of people really struggle to catch wasps. Don't worry, I'm one of those people, and I think this will definitely help a lot if you're trying to go after them. It just gives you a little bit of extra protection, and the wasps won't disappear like they would if you entered a building, so you actually get a really easy chance to catch them, which could be super convenient. Now, one of the questions I had myself when I first saw the 2.0 update is how do you get the portraits for some of the returning special characters in the game? Well, it has actually been discovered that you will need to design a vacation home for these special characters using their amiibo cards if you want to get the portraits. That means that currently these portraits are actually locked to Happy Home Paradise, at least in terms of most of the returning characters. Of course, some like Isabelle and Tom Nook, you can just get their photos without needing the DLC, but sadly it does seem like you will need it if you want to get most of these portraits. However, you can trade these items with other players, so if they manage to get a duplicate somehow, then that could definitely be something you could do. However, it definitely does seem like these will be some of the most elusive and sought after items in the entire game. Portraits have always been really hard to get in every Animal Crossing game, and New Horizons is no exception because even if you have the DLC, you're still going to need their amiibo cards. I certainly don't have every single amiibo card of every special character, so I'm going to struggle to get my hands on some of these photos, but I hope I can do eventually. I mentioned in a previous video that the rotation for Harvey's Island is actually every Monday, but Crazy Red actually works a little bit differently. Now, if you buy his art real or fake, he will actually cycle through new art. This means that you can rotate his inventory every day if you're willing to spend money on fake portraits and artworks. I personally don't feel like doing this, I'm happy just to wait, although to be fair, I have actually completed my art exhibit, so why am I buying stuff from him now anyways? But still, I just thought I'd mention this one because it is a really neat detail to know about. Speaking of Red, he's actually been updated slightly too. Now, we all know that Nook's Cranny has brand new items which you can purchase, but Red does now as well. Nintendo kinda swept this one under the rug, but it is a thing. You can get brand new items introduced in the 2.0 update from Red as well. Now, of course, you'll have to get lucky enough to actually see his little traveling boat, but if you do, you may be in for a surprise and see some items that you've been after. I've seen actually quite a few people getting Froggy Chair from Red, so if you're trying to get this item, this could potentially be a good place to get it. Here's another one for Happy Home Paradise. You can actually swim around the archipelago if you get out your wetsuit. Now, in theory, this does sound really cool, but the catch is you sadly can't really do anything. You can't dive or do anything like that, and there's nothing really hidden to find. However, you could hang out with your villagers if they're in their floaties around the ocean. That's basically it though. I just thought I'd mention it because I've seen a few people comment this one, so it seems like people wanted me to talk about this. A feature that I really like that adds quite a bit of realism to Animal Crossing New Horizons is that if a traveling vendor is actually visiting your main island, they won't be present on Harvey's Island. So for example, if Red's boat is docked up on your secret beach, Red will not be there on Harvey's. I really like this. It seems like a small thing, but it does add a lot to the game. They could have easily just made it so that Red would appear in both places at once or any other traveling vendor who appears on your island, but they decided to do it this way, which I much prefer, so it's definitely a cool detail to know about. Once you unlock the Superstar Designer rank in Happy Home Paradise, you can actually expand your cafe and add in a gallery. This is an upstairs part of the cafe and I really like this. Now you don't necessarily have to make it a gallery if you don't want to, you really could make it anything. I personally found it very strange that they decided to go with gallery as a theme in the cafe. I don't know, that doesn't really make much sense to me, but hey, it's a thing that you can do. I just made a very simple gallery, but you can do whatever you want with it. You know, the world is your oyster in Happy Home Paradise. So I just thought I'd mention that this is a really cool unlock that you'll probably want to know about if you have the Happy Home Paradise DLC. If a villager invites themselves over to your house, which I've seen a lot of you guys not be too happy about, there is actually a way of getting rid of them instantly. If you have cockroaches in your home and a villager invites themselves over, they will basically leave immediately because they will be so disgusted by the condition of your home. Now, this is absolutely hilarious. This has to be one of my favorite details in the whole of the 2.0 update. Personally, I'm really happy that villagers got good upgrades like this, but I can understand that if you're decorating your home, it can be annoying if a villager just invites themselves over randomly. This happened back in Animal Crossing New Leaf 2, and I remember people saying this back then, so it seems like some things never change. For the first time in Animal Crossing New Horizons, you can actually see the eyes of some special characters due to the fact that you can now get their amiibos, which means you can invite them over to Harvey's Island and his photo studio. This includes characters like Wilbur. You can see his eyes for the first time, usually they're hidden behind sunglasses. It's nothing too crazy, but this is a really cool detail because it's sort of stuff like this that you think about once you've played the game for nearly 2 years. You've literally never really seen this character in full. Same goes for characters like Brewster and Harvey as well. So if you've got their amiibos, and those are the types of characters who are wearing glasses, you can actually swap them out with some different glasses. You can't remove their glasses, however, that's not a thing that you can do, but you can swap them out for different type of glasses that will actually reveal their eyes. So this feature is really cool, and it actually connects between Happy Home Paradise and your main island as well. So let's say a villager lives on your island, but they also work on the archipelago. Maybe Bob works in the cafe on the archipelago. Well, if Bob gets sick on your island, which is something that can happen with your villagers, then he will become absent from his job and they will actually mention that he will have been replaced. So this is a really neat detail. I was honestly so surprised to see this, but I think it's absolutely fantastic that they decided to connect it like this. It seems like it would be a pretty rare occurrence, but I love the fact that they decided to add this in. It just adds a lot of realism that your character would call in sick. They wouldn't still be working on the archipelago if they were ill. So I love the fact that they did this. There's honestly so many cool details like this in the archipelago that I could talk about. It just goes on and on and on, and I love them all. But let me know in the comment section down below what hidden features and secret details you've discovered so far in the 2.0 update. I want to learn even more and see what everyone else is doing in the game. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like to support the content, and if you made it down to the end, then be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. Thank you for watching, be sure to check out my links in the description, and I'll catch you next time for another Animal Crossing video. I want to give a big thanks to these channel members for their continued support of me and what I do here on this channel. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button down below the video or the link in the description to learn more. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, access to our members only Discord and our members only podcast too.